Hello Flosstube, my name is Deb. I'm the Traveling Stocking Stitcher. I'm really glad that you joined me today, and a little bit late on this episode because I was out of town. We went on a trip to the states of Utah and Colorado and New Mexico. We visited three national parks. We went to Canyonlands, and we went to Arches and Mesa Verde. And in Mesa Verde, where they have the cliff dwellings, I found this particular magnet, which I think would make a great needle minder. It's originally a refrigerator magnet, but it's got some enameling on the front. I just hope it doesn't get scratched up with the needle. But that was my fun souvenir that's stitching related. I also picked up a little bit of a cough, so my voice is kind of scratchy. I'll try to get through this as well as I can, but we'll see how we do. I've called this episode Something Fowl is Afoot. And the reason for that is this frame right here. I found this at a thrift store. Looks like a regular frame, right? But this finishing idea, it's got legs. Now, literally, it has legs. It has bird legs. And it has bird feet. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Now, it's a 5x7 frame. It's 4.5 by 6.5. Frames have one job, to tell you what size that they fit. They don't always, sure, it may be 5x7 out here, but it's 4.5 by 6.5 in here. I don't know why they don't do a better job. It's their one job that a frame has to do, is tell you what size it is. But anyway, the second I clapped eyes on that, my thought went immediately to Lindy Stitches. And she's got one design that I actually own that I didn't know what I was going to use for. I just wanted to have it, and this was the reason. It's the December dance. It's the booby birds, the red-footed boobies, doing their little dance. Now, I didn't really know that there were both red-footed boobies and the blue-footed boobies. You hear about the blue-footed boobies. Apparently they have a better PR agent or something. But there are both kinds. I have a spreadsheet that I keep on my phone that has all the charts that I own. And I've got all the stitch counts for each chart so that I can, when I'm out in the wild, if I need something, I know immediately. So I did the calculations, and I figured I could do this on an 18 count. I was going to have to leave off the border because that wasn't going to fit in there. But on an 18 count, I could get it to fit nicely in there. So here is my first one. And I don't do a lot of smalls, but it was kind of fun to have. I polished these off in no time, so had fun with these. So this is my finished red-footed boobies, ready for Christmas. Now, her called for color was like a lavender. I think it's white Mitchell lavender. I think it was her Zweigert. I forget. But anyway, since I had to do it on 18 count, I found this is done on DaVinci Ada from Picture This Plus that I got off of 123 Stitch. And it's purplish. It's got kind of an orange color in it there. They described it as 211 variegated. Medium purple blue with random areas of orange. I think it turned out okay. There they are. And a little backing off of here. I broke the glass on the way home, but I don't care. I like to finish stitching stuff. I like to finish stitching stuff without glass anyway, because I think it detracts from it. But I just took the little back off. There's a little ledge here. I thought I was going to have to use magnets somehow to keep them in, but I just pop it in underneath the little edging on the back, and it jumps right in there, and it fits perfectly. So there is my December dance. Isn't that fantastic? This frame, I found Amazon had a gold version that was like almost $100. It was like $96 or something. Free shipping, I think, but still $100 for a frame. I found this for $5.99, 40% off at a thrift store. Now I know I'll never find another one of these again, but I did find some. Apparently they're made in the UK, so if you're in the UK, you probably could pick one up. It didn't look like a lot of places were shipping to the US, but I found them anywhere from like 16 pounds to 34 pounds, something like that. Yeah, which would be about $43 or something USD. But again, whether you could actually get it shipped. So I hope I'm not showing you something you can't get a hold of, but if you're in the UK, you might have a chance of finding these. So I just thought that was perfect. But I couldn't leave well enough alone. You know, there is, like I said, the blue-footed boobies, and I can only display this at Christmas time because they've got the mistletoe, and they've got the hats on there. And by the way, the red-footed blue boobies do have the blue beaks. These are pretty authentic. I'll show you. You can compare. She did a nice job of making those look right. Oops, I had a thing on there. So I started thinking, oh, what else could I do? Let's show you what the blue-footed boobies look like. There are the blue-footed boobies. And again, I had to take off the perimeter and the beach thing. On this guy, I gave him a little ice floe on the bottom. And I changed the color to white because it was kind of a grayish color. And I know that they're in South America where it's they don't have snow, but they usually don't wear Santa hats either or dance under mistletoe, so I figured that was okay. And that these guys, I did in the same fabric, the 18 count DaVinci. So there those guys are. My first thought was to call this episode something Dr. Seuss-like, like one booby, two booby, red footy, blue footy, but I figured that might draw some unwanted attention on YouTube, so I just stuck it on the thumbnail and decided to go with the other title. But we do have some blue-footed booby fun facts for you. First up, the males actually do a dance. They display their feet in an elaborate mating ritual by lifting them up and down while strutting before the female and visually displaying his feet to attract mates during the breeding season. And then he presents the nest materials and finishes the mating ritual with a final display of his feet. So the feet are very involved. The dance also includes sky pointing. I think you see a little bit of that going on here. Sky pointing, which involves the male pointing his head and bill up to the sky while keeping the wings and tails raised. So that's happening there. The brightness of their feet decreases with age, so females tend to mate with the younger males with brighter feet. They have higher fertility rates and are greater able to provide paternal care than the older males. And then the foot color reflects paternal contributions to raising chicks. They've done studies where chicks raised by foster fathers that have brighter feet grow faster than chicks raised by foster fathers with duller feet. Who knew? They can also overheat in the hot sun, so one way they cool themselves down and lower their body temperature is by opening their mouths and vibrating the skin of their necks. Looks like they might be laughing sometimes, so that's kind of where they kind of get this reputation, but they're really just trying to cool themselves. In fact, the word booby actually comes from the Spanish word bobo, which means stupid or foolish or clown, because he's kind of clumsy on land as well. And they also are regarded foolish because of their apparent fearlessness of humans, and that gets them into trouble. And so those are your blue-footed booby facts, or your red-footed booby facts, because there are red-footed boobies as well. But I wasn't content to be done with that. I thought, okay, I've got a couple of things, but maybe I could switch things out seasonally. I'm not a big decorator for things other than Christmas, but I thought, well, this is one thing I can do to switch things out. And Lindy Stitches has so many bird opportunities that I just couldn't help myself. So the next idea I had was the changes in attitude, changes in latitude. And so this is the pelican here. The only change I made on this is I did some backstitching. The color I chose, the fabric I chose for this is, let's see, what is it called? Celeste, I think it is. I think it's an 18 count. I didn't write that down here. I'll put that in my show notes down below. But because it was kind of a light blue, I did some backstitching around his arms because you couldn't see him real well. Oh, there he is. Now, I don't have any pelican fun facts, but I do have a limerick about a pelican, usually attributed to Ogden Nash, but apparently he did not write this. A guy named Dixon Lanier Merritt apparently did. A wonderful bird is the pelican. His bill will hold more than his belly can. He can take in his beak enough food for a week, but I damned if I can see how the hell he can. So, pop this guy in. This one comes right out. This one pops right in. And there he is. So I figured this guy could like be January through like March when the weather's miserable and I'm thinking about changes of latitude in Minnesota and wish I was somewhere else. And then I figured during Easter the appropriate thing would be to have an Easter chick because they have long legs like that and web feet. But Lindy Stitches doesn't have an Easter chick. Hint, hint, Stephanie Webb, I need an Easter chick. So I don't have one for Easter. But June, July, I went back to Lindy Stitches and saw what she had available. And she has Saltwater Scrapbook Part 1. There's a couple of saltwater scrapbooks, but Part 1 has 2 that I figured I could use. First one is seagulls. And this one, the design is a square, and so it was going to be a little small for the area. All these I did on 18 count, they all seemed to work out. But this one, because it was just a square, I needed to have something to go with it. So I thought, well, what could I put? Some words or something next to it. And I went out for a walk, and I get a lot of my ideas when out walking for some reason. And I thought of the song that's kind of a song parody sung to John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. Be kind to your web-footed friends. I'm not going to sing it for you. But it got a couple of origins. They think it might have started in the 1930s on college campuses, and it was sung by soldiers in the USO, but I think it was probably most popularized, and I don't remember this, I had to look it up, by Mitch Miller back in the early 60s. Sing Along with Mitch Miller was a TV show in the US that Mitch Miller and his orchestra would play songs, and it was like the home game version of karaoke. They'd put the lyrics on the bottom and you'd follow the bouncing ball across the lyrics and you were supposed to sing along. And apparently they ended up each episode with be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck maybe somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends in the swamp where the weather is very, very damp. Now you may think that this is the end. Well, it is. And that would be the end of the show. This one I kind of screwed up a little bit on the spacing on this. I didn't give myself enough area on the bottom. But I thought, be kind to your web-footed friends. And as I was walking, not only did this pop into my head, but I envisioned the letter W to look like duck feet. So here it is. There are the seagulls. And I'm going to have to put some rickrack across the top here or something that looks like waves maybe to accommodate that. But there they are. Be kind to your web-footed friends. So I figured that one could be like early summer. And then the blue-footed boobies, they tend to mate in July, August, so they would come in and replace this after that. 18 count Celestina, that's the color that I've used for a lot of these, and this one too. It's the equivalent, DMC equivalent of 3747 and 26. For September 19th is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Last year I did a whole episode where I did Christmas stockings that have pirate themes, and so I thought I would do a pirate theme one for this. Now I know, pirates have parrots, and parrots, though they're birds, they have the long spindly legs, they don't have the duck feet. I know that, but they got the long spindly legs, so I figured I could make it work. So this one is also from Saltwater Scrapbook, Part 1. This is also on the Celestina, 18 count, and because it was a little square again, I needed to put a comment next to it. So we have International Talk Like a Pirate Day. I figured that we would have the parrot say, so when is Squawk Like a Pirate's Parrot Day? And there they are. love this guy. I love the pirate. I love the look on his face. There he is. He can be up in September. Pirates are great for Halloween as well, so he can go all the way through October, I figure. So, close up. I think I got a little when I was doing the hot glue. I've never done hot glue before when I was finishing these. I'll show you. I didn't do a great job of finishing them, but I do have a back that I can stick on here that will cover up the hideousness of my glue gunning. But I'm afraid I might have gotten a little bit on there. But I just cut some cardstock, and I used Helen D. She has a tutorial on flat finishing, and I used her suggestion of how to do that. That was very helpful. It's about 3 years old, but that's what they look like. And then we come to Thanksgiving. And the only things that I decorate for at Thanksgiving is, I used to do more knitting, and I have these bookends. This is one of them. It's Patience and Fortitude. They're the New York Public Library lions, and they're bookends, and I've had them for years. And one year I made little Santa hats and beards for them, but I also made a turkey outfit. So here is the little gobbler and the beak and his tongue inside. And then I just put this over his head like this. And it's intentional. It's supposed to be kind of goofy. And then I made some tail feathers and sewed those all together. And I kind of perched those back on his haunches. So that's my Thanksgiving decorations. But now I have another one that I'm going to have to put out. It is going to be Strutting Tom from Lindy Stitches. Again, just a square. I put a little border around him. He didn't have a border around him, but I just used the same color as I used for the pirates and the seagulls. And this is Strutting Tom. I'll put him in here. Pop him right there. And so the words I put on there were 3 words to live by. Happy Thanksgiving. Because I keep a little booklet when I am modifying designs and kind of write down the dimensions and stuff of what things are, so I can kind of get a feel for things. And down here I wrote Happy Thanksgiving, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to fit Thanksgiving all the way across. And when I wrote those 3 words down, I thought, well, those are very positive words. And so I said those are 3 words to live by. And there he is. I do have fun facts about turkeys. Oh, before I get to those, 18 count fiddler's cloth. That's all you need to know. So male turkeys can change their color of their heads. When they're angry or aggravated, their skin turns to a vibrant red. And when they're calm, their head turns white, while a more passive attitude yields to some sort of combination of blue and white. So this guy's, pretty chill. Got a blue head. They can fly. Wild turkeys can fly at speeds up to 55 miles an hour. And average turkey, 5,000 to 6,000 feathers, which in comparison, average bird has about 1,000 to 2,000 feathers. And then the tundra swan, if you're curious, tops the list with 25,000. So you don't want to pluck a tundra swan. And then toms have 18, I thought it would be more, but only 18 feathers that are longer than others that make up the fan. So, interesting to know. Alright. And then, we finished out the year, of course, with the one that started it all. We'll go back to the beginning and do our December dance. So, I had so much fun with this. And I just love that frame, so very pleased with that. As long as we're talking about Lindy Stitches, I've got one in the works, but I haven't really started. I'm doing a mashup of like 3 different 3 different versions, or 3 different designs that I'm putting together. That's going to be a Christmas stocking with one of the Lindy Stitches, her porch possum. So I don't really have the Lindy Stitches part done yet, so look for that in an upcoming episode, but that's in process yet. A couple of others, we're talking Lindy Stitches, a couple other things I have in my stash. She has a couple of freebies out there. Sugar Plum Dreams is this one with a horse, which is kind of fun. I haven't figured out a way to use that one yet, but it's out there. And then Moveless Spring is another freebie that she has available on her site that I've downloaded, and so someday I might run into a frame that has like a cow udder or something. I don't know. So for my seal of approval, I always like to highlight a floss tuber, and seems only right that Stephanie Webb should get the credit, because she is the designer behind Lindy Stitches. And normally I'm not a big fan of watching floss tubes from people that are, selling us stuff, but I don't feel like that when I watch her videos. Her videos are fun and engaging and delightful and quirky. She's got a great sense of humor. She does some cute shorts, like TikTok kinds of things, and she puts some effort into it. I really enjoy her stuff. So even if she wasn't, doing these fabulous designs, I would find it fun to watch her. So I highly recommend, if you haven't watched any of her videos yet, to give her a try. So what else have I been working on? I'm going to be doing some Charlie Harper stuff. I've always liked his work since I've discovered it. And so, first one up is a picture here that they included. Unfortunately, it's got a little bit of glare on it, but that's the picture they include in the kit. It's actually a real photograph. So, a bunch of raccoons. It's called Gift Wrapped. And this is what I've got started so far. I need to order some red Krynic that goes in here on the packages. And then you've got these little raccoons looking in the window. And so this is going to be a Christmas stocking. You can see I've got the tracing of a stocking outline on here to follow that. So we'll get working on some of those, and we'll have a Charlie Harper theme episode coming up. And then, let's see. Oh, while I was on vacation, I finished up some of these little small things that go in the Lindy Stitches smalls, and that was kind of fun. I usually don't do things that are small like that, but it's fun to just kind of whip through and get some little things accomplished, and so that was entertaining. And then one that I kind of have as my travel stash. This is one that I started on the trip as well. This one is called Denmark, from Zephyr Mood on Etsy, and it is a map of Denmark, essentially. It's on 14 count red, and this is going to be one of my travel posters. So you can see the kind of the sky, the top part, and I'm getting into the buildings down here. And the plan is to, at the bottom, the Danish flag is got a white stripe or cross here that I'll just put the word Denmark down below the map part. So that's what I've got going so far on that one. So that will probably be put away for a while till the next time I go somewhere and take that along on a trip, because that was easy enough to stitch on. It's 14 count, it's easy to see, doesn't have a ton of colors. And then I do have a little Stitchy Kindness. I had a giveaway for my 1,000 subscribers a couple of months ago, and Stephanie Wingett was the recipient of that. And she sent me this fabulous card. I've never seen this before, but it's actually a card that shows Nora Corbett's sketch, a Mirabilia sketch. So this is a preliminary study that she had done for Rose Arbor. On the back it's got information about the chart that she had done, and Mirabilia and Nora Corbett in essence. So thank you, Stephanie, for this beautiful card. And along with that, I had been working on an Amsterdam piece where there were a lot of windows, and I was trying to backstitch with something other than 2 strands of 5200, which was just looking too clunky. And she suggested floesh, and I'd never heard of or seen floesh, so she sent me this fantastic hank of floesh. And she said this is a good alternative to whisper, so I'm very excited about that, because nobody likes stitching with whisper. So thank you. It's B5200. Can you see? Number 16 is the name of it there. what does it say? It says F75579 if you're looking for it. So that'll be fun to work with. So thank you, Stephanie. And one other FFO that I have done that's been sitting in a pile for a while, I just popped it in a frame while I was doing all the other FFOing last night. This is the Alhambra that I've done. This is 1,000, I'll put the down below, it's 1,000 Nights from the Bivsters, I think. And when I showed you it last time, this was a very light gold. It was one of these golds in here, but it wasn't showing up real well, so I changed it to brown, and it looks a little bit better. So I just popped it in one of these little 11 by 14 frames for my travel poster series. So that is the Alhambra. So other plans that I have, I'm thinking about doing a tutorial for lettering, putting names on Christmas stockings. That was an idea that Kelly S1549 had for a comment that she made on one of my videos, and so I thought that was a great idea. It hadn't occurred to me before. So lettering, you know, how to center things up and how to arrange things. I've got an outline of all the things I want to talk about, so hopefully I'll have that in the works soon, as soon as my throat clears up, because I can hear how raspy I sound. So look forward to that in the future. Other than that, that's all I have to show for you today. I thank you for joining me again and appreciate you coming along. And I got to show you one more time. Aren't those fabulous? Love those bird feet. Bye-bye.